Okay, so you're saying that you cultivated some spiritual gifts after
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Right. What are those gifts?
Well, a couple of things is that I know our ultimate future as humans. I know
Oh,
the far, far, far distant future. I know the distant future. And I know the not so distant future. But I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. But I could tell you what our final destination is as a people. And many people will be outraged by what I'm going to share with you. And I understand it. But this is just my experience. And I don't expect you to believe it. I don't expect anyone. This is just what I feel from my experience. I believe that the creator and the creation are one, that we are the creator, all of us together. And I believe that we march towards this understanding and coming to that realization that we are indeed the creator. And we look around us and we see all the technology, we see our ability to gene edit and how far we've come as a species in the last 50 years with technology. Picture us 1,000 years from now. We are going to be able to create life. We're going to be able to understand what the creation is. We're going to realize eventually that we are the creator. And I believe this is a scene that plays out eons. I mean, the length of time isn't measurable or understanding, but this whole creation, this whole everything we experience is this path of understanding spiritual growth until we come to the realization that we are the creator. And that's what I believe.
wow. So how is this something that just appeared as a knowing when you awoken again, or you saw it as a vision?
It was a process because first when I began to feel energy and everything, I knew we were all connected. I mean, truly, is that like you said, there's a uniqueness about everybody, but there's a commonness, there's a same that connects us all. It's kind of like a lot of times I see these sacred geometries, and I often believe that is really a representation of our spiritual connections, how each of us is has a different add to this mosaic, but it's all incorporated within this expression. And that's what I believe is going on here is that we are learning and growing and we are all part of this. And it wasn't that someone told me this. Like I said, this is a universe according to Steve. But when I put all my experiences together and I come to this understanding and being a technology, and I think that's probably why these things were presented to me in this way, because this is the noble truth which the universe, God, whatever you want to call, is that wanted me to understand, and that's the understanding I received. So you're right. I didn't. There wasn't a book that says, "Oh, the creator and creation are one, and we're on this path." And no, but based upon my awareness and what I experienced, and my physical incarnation, and what I experience here, and what I see here, that's what I believe.
So to circle back to the beginning when I mentioned a friend of mine that I just heard died yesterday, or the day before. I got to know it yesterday. Is there a deeper meaning with everything that happens from your perspective? If you learn something about that, or are there accidents in the universe?
Okay, I maybe if I could speak to it a little bit this way, is that are there coincidences, or are things not coincidences in many ways? And I believe that one of those perceptions that I have since having that experience is being able to see and understand signs and synchronicities. And these things are really, once I began to open my eyes to it and I got rid of the wow factor. A lot of times when you see a sign, like, wow, wow, grandma's reaching out to me. But you miss the meaning. Why are you receiving the sign? Maybe when someone's recently passed, receive a sign to make you feel better and understand that there is something else, that this wasn't a one and done deal here, is that you are, everything is part of your experiences. But struggling with loss and grief is is such a struggle to understand it, especially when somebody so young passes. And I want to share a small story with you about this. Is that that'll help to bring it into light about coincidences and such. Is that when I was writing this book, The Place Between Here and There, I was walking along the beach with a friend of mine, Kathy. It's actually the lady who I wrote the book with. She's a dear friend of mine. Had been a dear friend for decades, and we were writing the book together. And it was in the middle of the health crisis we've all been facing, and we're walking along the beach. And she's a big saint person. She loves Saint Germain, the violet flame, and she prays to Saint Germain all the time. And I would leave the praying up to her for us. And during this health crisis, she was praying for healing for the universe. And I often, if it wasn't for her, things would have been a lot worse. And she would pray to Saint Germain. And while we're walking on the beach, she wanted to see a sign that Saint Germain had heard her. And so Saint Germain is the violet flame. That's the way Saint Germain is represented. And so she wanted to find violet beach glass on the beach. You would find hen's teeth on Long Island before you'd find violet beach glass. And I knew she was going to be disappointed. And so we're walking back, and she was kind of pouting that she didn't find violet beach glass, and she wonders if Saint Germain heard her. And then out of a sand dune, this dog, this Dalmatian puppy, white dog with black spots all over it, comes running out of nowhere and starts jumping all over us. And I love the dog. I was playing with it. And the owner comes running out from behind the sand dunes, just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And we're like, "No, it's okay. We love puppies." And I did, I really enjoyed the puppy. And so I asked her, "What's the dog's name?" She said, "Violet." And I was like shocked. It's like, how does a Dalmatian puppy be called Violet? It's like, there's no way. And I, we exchanged pleasantries, and then we walked away. And Kathy didn't get it. I was saying, "Kathy, the dog's name is Violet. How does that happen? You were looking for violet beach glass, and we got a Dalmatian named Violet. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign, and we have to find out what this sign was." And about a week later, we walk the beach every day. We're just a couple of blocks from it, and it's not uncommon for people to do the same. And we bumped into this lady again, and of course we rushed up to her, and we asked her about the dog. We told her about the beach glass, and she was all thrilled about it. And so I asked her, "How come the dog's name is Violet?" And she said her and her son's favorite movie was Gone with the Wind. And Scarlett O'Hara, in one scene, she wears this big, beautiful violet dress that I think Brett Butler gave her. And that was their favorite movie. They would watch it together. So they named the dog Violet and spelled it the way Scarlett spells her name, not the way the color is. And that's why the dog's name is Violet. And then she shared with me that she lost her son just a few months before she got the dog. And that's why she named the dog Violet. I lost my son. I lost my son to a drug overdose about the same time as she lost her son. And I was still healing from that. And all of a sudden, we became very good friends. And we began to share our experiences. And we began to heal together. And how does that happen? I mean, really, when you sit and think about spirit and and that was, I believe that was our sons reaching out to us, maybe even Saint Germain too, but I believe that was our sons reaching out to us because they were feeling our pain, and they knew that we can help each other to get through this time together. And it was just by naming this silly, happy dog Violet. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
So sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a loss that many families experience. But one thing is I learned, it's not unique to me. We all suffer losses. You suffer the loss of your friend. Many people have lost their parents and siblings, and I've come to terms with that. And it took a while, but truly, there is something else. And that's what that place taught me. It's a beautiful place and it's not a one and done. Experience life to all that it has to offer. Laugh and cry. Some people go home on a mountain all day, and that may be wonderful for their life experiences. But I believe most people, you go out and experience life. If it wasn't for those experiences that I had in life, I would have nothing for my life review. You know,
Yeah.
Invest in spirit, invest in experiences, not the material things. That would be my advice.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.